Hey y'all, it's Amanda with Tap Mom and the Bake Brigade. Hope everybody's having a good night, morning, whenever you're watching this. Because it is 1 o'clock in the morning here. So just let you know. Night owls unite! I didn't really think that I had the energy to do another live like last night. But I did want to come on and do a video, show you what I've been up to. Which is not a whole lot. I haven't really felt like myself, but I messaged. I thought that doctor's appointment was for tomorrow, and when I went back to look at it to verify what time, it was for July. So I messaged my doctor and told her, "Look, I need something. I need to do something." And so we sort of agreed to lower my dosage on Topamax and to go back taking it on a lower dosage and see if that, is kosher, since I don't have side effects with Topamax except for kidney stones, which we're going to lower my dosage to about half of what I was taking. So we're hoping that that will bypass that whole kidney stone side effect business. But you really don't know. It's just it's a shot in the dark, because I just know that this week has been a very difficult week for me mental health wise. I threw some things today. I slammed some doors, and it was over nothing, and that's not really like me. So I don't like when that happens, and I can't get a handle on my anger over stupid stuff. Luckily, Johnny knows that I'm having issues, so nobody took it personally. But yeah. I'm just having to close my bedroom door more than I usually do to give myself some privacy. Because God bless Will. Will's, currently waiting on, to be called about a job. And so he wanders into my room many times during the day or evening and talks to me while I'm trying to watch a TV show or watch a video or crochet or just whatever. So there hasn't been a lot of personal space respected for Mom lately. But I probably wouldn't be as irritated about it had I not been off this medication. So the fact that I'm, very irritated about it, and wish he would stop. But he's bored, and so he's gonna do what he's gonna do. But he should be back to work soon at his old job. He's got the okay to go back. He's just waiting for the boss man to get back in town so he can go fill out paperwork and stuff. So I can't wait for that to happen. Oh, I laugh rather than cry. But I will be fine. I'm going to take the Topamax tonight that I already have. I'm going to take one instead of two like I used to, and see, if I feel better tomorrow, or even just a little bit better would be great. But I'll be fine. I just this is the first time in about 8 years that I've been without a particular medication for a couple of weeks, about 2 or 3 weeks now, and my symptoms are just now starting to get the best of me. I'll just put it that way, just starting to get the best of me. But I did make a quick make today. I made another one of the bucket hats by Crystal over at Bag O Day, but I made this one a little bit different. I made it with red yarn, and then right here where she does the three rows of single crochet, I just switched to black, and then I put black at the bottom. I did make this brim a lot bigger than a bit longer than I did the other one. Yeah. And see, this is the other one that I made, and then this is, so you can see I made a longer brim. So this is probably going to a little boy that is the son of Will's friend, and this one I probably keep because I like this one. But I'm going to make another red one. She has 3 boys, and so I'm going to make 2 red ones for the other 2 kids. And one of the twins likes blue, and one of the twins likes red, and then the oldest child likes red. So, but this is what we got going on here. So it works out okay, I guess. I don't know that I look really great in this hat. I may just buy me a bucket hat instead of trying to make myself one. They had some really cute ones at Walmart the other day for about $7. So I may just go and get me one of them. But I don't know that I look very cute in this. I'm really not buying it. My skin tone is a little too pale to pull this off. I think it's clashing with my skin tone. Now I could wear red tops, but this red hat is just not working for me. I think one of the boys will get this one because the more I look at it, the more I don't like it on my head. I just don't like it on my head. So I will probably add one more red hat, and one of the boys will get this one. Probably the oldest child, because he's probably got the biggest head. But yeah, I'm 2 hats down and one to go. And then I'll have 3 for the boys. I'm gonna stick them over there. But I made a little progress on these. I'm up to 7 completed now. I probably would have a lot more done if I didn't keep getting interrupted. But after making that hat, I needed rest. My hands needed rest. So that was way earlier. And excuse me if I burp. I ate a cucumber before coming on here, and it's giving me the burps. Something also did kind of trip my stomach up a little bit, so I had to take some nausea medicine. So, but I didn't want to come and talk to y'all. Now I'm not real good at crochet and chat because my mouth does strange things when I'm trying to crochet and concentrate. I think it probably happens to a lot of people. I know Cricket Braden said that when she saw me doing it, she suddenly didn't feel so bad about doing it. So I'm assuming that she does it too. It's probably something that we all unconsciously do. We have a concentration face. We all have concentration faces. Unfortunately, my mouth does this the whole time I'm crocheting because I'm trying not to clench my teeth. I'm a terrible teeth clencher. I have broken tooth back here and a broken tooth over here to prove it. I'm a teeth clencher. I need to go to a dentist. I really do. But I hate dentists. I hate anyone to mess with my mouth. I really do. I hate it. So I put it off as long as I could. I'm gonna have to call probably and try to find one soon. I got this one that's broken back here. It's cut my cheek on the inside, and yeah, it hurts. But I will be okay. I'll go brush my teeth and rinse my mouth with some Listerine, and that'll numb it so that I can sleep. Let's see here. But I got like 20 something of these squares to do. And what I'm doing with my ends is all these previous ends before the black, I crocheted over them. So what I'm doing, I don't know if y'all ever used any of this stuff, but I use this Fabric Fusion. It's ALEENES. Aleene's Fabric Fusion. I use this on Grady Squares. But what I do is just a teeny tiny little drop. But I put a teeny tiny little drop right there where right before I snip, and I just put a little drop where I want it, and then I go back and cut, because I've already crocheted over them. So I'm just using the fabric glue to make sure that they don't back out of the spot that they're in. And trust me, once you put that on there and it dries, that's not going anywhere. Nowhere. But it doesn't have any smell, and it doesn't, it's non-toxic. Excuse me. So I get it on the tips of my fingers, and it just rolls right off. So I'm all, when I'm making Granny Squares, I always end up with glue at my fingertips, because I rub it in. I dab it, and then I massage it in so that it doesn't get stiff. So because it can make if you put too much of the fabric glue on, it will make your project stiff. Been there, done that. But it does keep your ends tucked where you want them, and they won't back out on. And you can wash it as many times as you want. It's not going anywhere. So, and this is pretty cheap on Amazon. You can get that on Amazon. You can get a real big bottle, or you can get 3 small bottles. It's up to you. But I've been using the same bottle for this whole year and part of last year, so it lasts a really long time. And y'all know I churn out projects, so yeah, the teeniest tiniest little drop of it, just to give me that little security that it's not going anywhere. So I like to do that. But I got my, oh goodness, it is going out of the daggum sleeve. I got my skein of 1 pounder down here that I've been working from. I made that little blue hat, and then I've been using it on the outside of these squares. I used all the scraps up. I had a whole, if you were watching the live the other night, or one of my videos, I probably showed it, and I had little hand wound balls in this box down here, this little plastic box of the same yarn, same blue yarn that I'm using. But I've went through most of those, and so now I'm using the skein. I have 2 more besides this skein, so I have more than enough for my blanket. But I did take my squares and lay them out on my bed to see if it was going to cover the distance I needed it to cover, and it will. So it goes from the foot of the bed all the way up to where I lay my head. That's how long it's going to be, and then it'll, cover the rest of the bed. Because when I get the squares all put together, I'm going to go around the outside with some more of the gold color. I still have quite a bit of gold left, so I'm going to put some rows of gold and some more rows of the blue until I get it the size I want. But it should, of course, I'm going to keep y'all up to date, and when I get all the squares done, I'll lay them out on the bed and then take a snap, and I'll share that on the Facebook group. But this will be the biggest granny square blanket I've made. This one on the back of my chair I made earlier this year, and it's only about 12 squares big. It's not very big at all, and I forget how many rounds I did on each square, but it's just a throw blanket size. But this will be a bed blanket. I'm gonna probably use this to replace the current blanket I've been using, because it's not big enough. And there's a comforter in the laundry area that is hard to wash, so this blanket will probably replace that too. So we'll just have to wait and see. And then at some point I'm going to make myself a corner-to-corner blanket. But I like variety. I like variety in blankets. I like to, because you never know when you need to wash one and use a clean one, So it's good to have more than one available to you. And I do like sleeping under crochet blankets. I have one that my bestie Marsha made me, real beautiful, but she made it out of Karen Simply Soft, and I worry about Theo's claws. Theo tends to claw at things, and his claws are rather sharp, and I don't want anything to happen to that blanket. So I usually sandwich that blanket between a sheet and a bedspread, where you can't see the top of it. I know it's there. I know what she put on there. She did I think the word love in post stitches, I think. But it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. I cried when I got it, because I was so touched by the work she put into it. But I keep it safe, because it's not like you can replace something handmade. You can only make it that way one time. It's not like it's a mass production or anything. So it's very precious to me. A lot of my crochet items I have put in totes until I get ready to use them or wear them or whatever. I'm really kind of particular about that. But they take up, I think I got like maybe two totes of crocheted items, something like that. But and then my little babies up here in the corner, my little amigurumi babies that have been gifted to me, and I love them to pieces. I really do. And I was talking to someone about this the other day. I was like, I never collected anything when my kids were growing up. Never, nothing. I didn't hang on to anything. I didn't, just collect anything. Sometimes, I had like, I really love some things with sunflowers on it. So I had some things with sunflowers on it, but I wouldn't have called it a particular collection, because some of it was plates, some of it was knickknacks. There was a clock. Lots of different things. And so, just stuff with sunflowers on it. But I never really considered that a collection. So I never really collected anything until I started doing yarn stuff, loom knitting first and then crocheting. And I think, I'm trying to remember when my yarn stash started. 2019, I think I started collecting yarn. Yeah, so about 5 years now, something like that. So now I'm trying to think if any of this yarn is that old. No, none of this yarn is that old. I have what I call a revolving stash. So sometimes I'll have a giveaway, or sometimes I'll sell it, or, you know, just kind of rotate it out so that, you know, I know that I'm using what I, you know, that I'm keeping what I will actually use. I did, you know, when I did the mystery boxes a month or so ago, mystery bags rather, I use mailer bags. But when I did those, I kind of purged my stash of things that I didn't see myself using, or, you know, and things that if I did get rid of it then, I could always get it back if the need arises. That's how I decided what was going in those bags. Is, okay, how long have I had this? When did I buy this? You know, do I see myself using it in the next 6 months? If the answer was no, I put it in the bag. So, and there was some totes I just opened up and just started filling bags with. So I got rid of a lot. I did. And so I kept stuff that it would either be too expensive to replace, or stuff that was discontinued that I really thought, you know, felt like I would use at some point. And you know, sentimental. Some of my yarn is kind of sentimental because it was gifted to me by some of you. And my bestie, one of my sister girl, Cheryl. And so I didn't get rid of stuff that she gave me. I don't think, maybe, I don't know. If it was a couple of years old. I don't know, but I don't have a whole lot of yarn now that is very old, you know, in my stash. It's all brand new, and you know, what you don't see back here behind me is in totes. And I'm about to put all this in plastic because after using this cotton cake that feels dried out, I'm a little worried about my other yarn sitting here drying out. So I'm gonna put it. I'm not so much worried about critters as I am the acrylic drying out and becoming hard to work with. So that's what I'm experiencing with that cotton cake there. So I think most of my other cotton cakes are in boxes. Some of them, I put the ones that I got in the other month in a tote over there, that I took all my scrap yarn, and I had 2 cardboard boxes, and I just went through my scrap yarn and just boxed up what I didn't think I'd get to, or what had been caked up and left caked up for the last couple of years, and I hadn't gotten to it. So it's time to, you know, do away with it. I posted a Facebook marketplace ad for pickup. I'm not going to ship that yarn. I'm not going to ship it anywhere, but I just put it on there for a small amount, you know, either, you know. So I've just rather someone get it that can't, you know, that like to try a variety of different yarns, and or maybe they just really enjoy working with scrap yarn. You know, some people make scrap yarn projects strictly, you know, they're looking for scrap yarn for strictly that purpose, and I do know that. But I kept what I thought I would use out of the scrap yarn. There's some in this little box right here, and there's some in this little thing with drawers back behind me. So I kept some that, you know, that I knew that I would probably get to. But I boxed up what I knew I wouldn't. So because, well, you know, I have so much to play with, and hopefully this will help someone else out. But I don't want to pay shipping, so that's why I didn't post it to sell and ship, because they're not small boxes. So I don't want to deal with that. But anyway, I'm gonna sit back here a minute and see if I can manage to crochet and chat with y'all a little bit. Let's see if I can see what I'm doing here. Let's see, that's a little bit. Yeah, I'm afraid I picked all black clothes when I took a shower earlier, but you know, it is what it is. It's just what I grabbed. It was what was readily available. But I am still using this Susan Bates steel hook out of the vintage hooks. This is 6.5. So it's a K hook. If you go by letters, it's a K hook. And so I just I go right here and I just pick a random spot to hook into and get my yarn up to that spot, and I just do like that. And I would turn this other light on, but then it would be too bright in here. So wait a minute, I forgot to put that in there. Yeah. And so what I do is I just hold this over, it's the tail over this these stitches, and then I just crochet over that. And then I'm not chaining between clusters, so I'm just going to skip back over here, and I'm going to hold this little black tail here over that spot and crochet over that area. Come on now. And that was abysmal. Let's see. Seriously. See, this is why I don't do a lot of crocheting, chat, because I get nervous. There we go. Okay, once I get started, I'm good. And I'm doing 4 rows of this on each square. And this is adding to the 7 rows that I did in the other colors. So it'll be 11 altogether. But I'm not really counting these blue as you know, part of my ode to God type deal. If I was going to do that, I'd have done another 14 or something, or another 7 rows instead of just 4. But I looked at the size it was after I added the 4, and I said that's going to be big enough. So it was about size after the initial 7 rows. It's about the size of the blanket that I'm trying to do, and that's the only reason why I'm even adding these 4 rows, is so that I can make each square a little bit bigger and get my blanket the size I want. Because I didn't want to have to go around and around and around the blanket to keep increasing size. I'd make my initial squares big, you know, so that I don't have to go around the outside of it too many rows, because that's going to be big. It's going to be big, and it's going to be cumbersome. And we're about to get triple digits. I noticed when I looked at the weather app, that they're predicting triple digits for next week. So that's about par for the course as far as July goes. July and August are really the hardest months for us here in Louisiana. So, and then of course hurricane season is upon us, and we don't get the hurricane part, but a lot of times once it hits land, it turns into really heavy rains and bad wind, and occasionally a tornado. I've just been extremely blessed that I've not been affected by a tornado, but I do know people who have. Now, back in, was it 2003, 2004, I lost a car to a tree due to straight line winds. You know what I mean? I was in Arkansas at the time, and I had a 86, or I think it was an 86 Crown Victoria. Yeah, it's an old car, but it was in really good shape, and I only paid like $750 for it. And it was in impeccable shape. But I didn't even think about parking it under that tree, that would be a problem. But that cottonwood tree landed right in the middle of my Crown Vic. I was so upset. So upset. It was off to the wrecking yard for it. It was toast. The daggum, the roof was down level with the window, where the window started. So that's how smashed it was. The whole roof was just caved in. It was just, it made me sick. It made me so sick. And then that daggum little wrecking yard guy comes, and his little skinny self wiggles in there and cranks it up and drives it on the daggum trailer. I was sick. I was upset. Nothing to be done though. And then it took me until the following income tax time to get me another ride, and I ended up with a another Ford. I got a Ford Taurus. It was a 1995 Ford Taurus. It was hunter green. It was a really nice car. It was in really good shape too. The radio wasn't great, so eventually I did get the radio replaced, and then I was really into bass related music at that time, and so I had a subwoofer put in the trunk. Boom, ba boom, ba boom. You could hear me before you saw me. And you know you're bad when your kids tell you to turn it down. Turn it down, Mom. It's too loud. What? What is wrong with you? Music is meant to be played loud, except for when I'm trying to go to sleep. I listen to this smooth jazz playlist I have on my phone. I play it on really, really low while I'm going to sleep. I've done it so long that Theo, when he's in here, he knows if he hears that music that it's time to go to bed. And like, oh, she's going to bed. Time for me to settle in and be still. He's been trained if he's up on the bed when I'm trying to go to sleep, then he's to be still. No scratching, no licking, just be still. Couldn't quite get that into Leroy's head. We tried. He did do some sleeping with me, but it was when he attacked my poor Theo that he had to go back. I still feel bad about that. But I'm still missing my Axel too, so I try not to think about it too often, because if I start thinking about him, I'll cry. I'm only human, right? But and my buddy Amy with Hooked on Wishing Crochet, she did a live earlier. She was finishing up like a tote bag type deal with plarn, with plastic yarn. Very fascinating. She's so talented. I'm gonna put a link in my description so you can go check out her. Please, if y'all haven't checked out Amy over at Hooked on Wishing Crochet, I wish y'all would please do that. She needs subscribers, and she's trying to get her watch hours. And she is so delightful. She has such creative content, and she's just such a bright light of sunshine. You know, when you sit down to watch one of her videos, you really feel like you're visiting with a friend. Of course, I am, but you know, I want everybody else to experience that, because she's so welcoming and so, you know, such a sweet, sweet woman, and she's so pretty. I don't think she really understands how pretty she is, but she's a beautiful woman. And she has 3 kids, 2 girls and a boy. Her little boy takes boxing lessons, and he's quite talented at that. And those girls are gorgeous. They keep her busy. And her husband's a mechanic, works at a car dealership. She got her a good one. She lives out there in California, the Sunshine State. How appropriate, since that's what I think of when I think of Amy. I think of sunshine. And how every time I interact with her, I feel my day's a little bit brighter. Eva is just a live wire. She keeps me straight. She's kind of the hall monitor. Because while Amy's a free spirit and you know, kind of hippie-ish, Eva is the straight shooter. And if she don't think you're right, she'll tell you. I love that about her, though. You never have to guess what she's thinking. You never have to concern yourself where you stand with her. And she loves very fiercely, and if you are in her circle of loved people, she will stick up for you and fight for you like nobody else. little feisty 4'11" Eva. Another bright spot in my day, I'm telling y'all. I'm extremely blessed to have those ladies in my life. And of course there's Cindy over at Pups and Crochet. We occasionally get a chance to talk. She always cracks me up. She's so funny. Her stories are are very creative and animated, and she tells wonderful stories about when she was raising her children, or you know, different times of life. You know, 80s mostly experiences when when we were growing up in the 80s. She's just a little older than me, not too much older than me. Amy's younger than me, and then Eva and I are the same age. But you'd never know. You'd think we were all sisters, the way we talk with each other, and it might be hours before we answer a text, but no one gets mad, because we all know we have things we're doing. So that's, you know, that's a real friendship, where you don't have people sitting there tapping their toes waiting for you to answer a text. They perfectly know that you'll get to it when you get to it. You know, that's love and acceptance at its highest. And a few years ago, I didn't have that. I didn't have anybody like that. And I'm just so grateful to have found them, and feel so, you know, loved and respected and understood. You know, and I've run across a knot. Oh, good. There. I had a knot in it, and I was trying to figure out how I'm going to get that out, because it seemed like a tight knot, but it came out. But I'm trying to get around to this other side here. But yeah, I can put music on and really go to town with some crochet. Y'all want to know how I get through projects so fast? I put music on and just sit and crochet to the beat of the music, tap my foot, sing along if I know the words. I play music on that Amazon Prime music, because sometimes they have the words to the songs, and they show them they roll them through the screen, you know. And I can't tell you how many songs that I thought I knew the words to. And then I read them on that screen, and I was like, I've been singing that song way wrong, so wrong. Strawberry water, y'all. Get you some. But yeah, that's happened to me a lot. I was like, you mean they're not saying that? What is that? There's a CCR song, Clearwater Revival, from, you know, it's old school music. And there's a song, I can't think of the Bad Moon Rising or something like that. But when I was growing up, we thought it was saying bathroom on the right. But it's bad moon rising or something like that. But yeah, we thought that they said bathroom on the right. Yeah. The things you find out when you're looking at the words to songs that you've been singing to for your whole life. And then you look, and it's not bathroom on the right. Oh, well, I don't think I'm by myself in doing that. I think that happens to a lot of us. Especially when you have different, when you come from a different area than the music artist, you know, and they have a certain kind of accent. Maybe they're blending their words a little bit, you know, and they go to sing a particular song, and you're like, they're saying one thing and you hear something completely different. And so I think it's just a matter of, you know, geographically where they're from and where you're from, and what culture you came from versus what culture they're from. And so their accent's going to be different. Their inflection, their voice inflection's going to be different. And so you're just going to hear things different than you should, you know. But yeah, I like it when the words are on the screen, because then I can go, oh, that's what they're saying. Because they say one thing and I hear something else. Do I let that stop me from singing along to that song? Absolutely not. I'm wrong. If I'm wrong and strong. But it's just music. It's not, there's not a test at the end. So no one's going to come and say, oh, we give you an F because you sang that song wrong. Please. I wish somebody would. I'd tell them to get out of my face. Oh boy. And I'm still working my way through Law and Order SVU. And they got new episodes of that Lucy Lawless show on Acorn TV. My Life is Murder, I think is what the name of that show is. It's really good. It's really good. She still looks beautiful, even though she's not in a bustier in a leather skirt like she was on Xena Warrior Princess. She's still beautiful. And she has kind of like honey-colored hair with highlights. She's still slim and trim. The show is based in, I think it's based in New Zealand. Because she is actually, I believe she is from New Zealand. But yeah, she's a consultant for the local police department to help them solve difficult cases, or cases that they're not sure exactly what happened. She's a retired police detective, and they solicit her services on a case-by-case basis. And then she has this little assistant that's a bit eccentric in her dress and her ways, but she's a computer guru. She can hack, she can fact find. She's really great. Don't ask me her name, I can't think of it right now. But I think this is their 4th season. Yeah, their 4th season of that show. And I'm trying to space out my watching of it because I know it's going to be like another year before they put out another season. And they're probably only going to do about 6 episodes. That's par for the course for that area. They usually only do about 6 episodes. Same way with Vera, the detective show on BritBox. They only do about 4 to 6 episodes per season. But Brenda Blythe or something. I can't pronounce her last name, but the actress that plays Vera, her first name is Brenda. And but she's getting on up there. I believe she's in her 70s, but she's still doing it. You wouldn't know it by how good she gets around and how sharp she is. I think people underestimate older people. You know, they underestimate folks' ability to navigate technology. And things like that. A lot of older ladies, older people in general, just kind of roll with it. If they need to learn something new, they just learn it and use it and go on about their life. You know, if they don't know how to do it, they ask their family, and they get help from their family to learn how to do things. Back when I worked at AT&T. I left them in 2013, and I used to do tech support for DSL connection. They don't have DSL anymore. It's all cable or fiber optic. And I can't tell you how many older people that I walked through on how to connect their internet and how to get to certain pages and access their email and stuff like that. But let me tell you, when you've treated someone with kindness and respect and how you speak to them when you're walking them through doing stuff, they really appreciate it. And I could walk anybody through anything step by step with respect. And, within the first 5 or so minutes, you figure out what kind of pace you need to go when you're explaining things to people or you're giving them steps. You learn really quickly how fast or how slow you need to go. And that you can speak with them for about 5 or so minutes and gauge their level of ability versus what they need to happen. And so when I'd encounter someone that was really struggling, I would just take them to a particular website, and with the computer connected to the modem, and I would navigate them to a particular website that would let me remote in and take over their screen and go through and do the wireless connection for them. And then if they had any little slight maintenance on the computer that I could click and do, I would do that for them. I'd point out to things on the screen to them and just kind of walk them through some basics. How do you access your email? If they needed a software set up that would download their email to it, I would go in there and set that up. We had a scope of things we were permitted to do. So some things I couldn't do that I wanted to help them with, and sometimes I would sneak and do it anyway. Because I had just gotten that close to them and wanted to really help them. Because if it was my loved one and they were older and they were, needing the help, I would want someone to help them. So I just tried to treat them like I would treat family, Because I used to, I had to replace parts in the computer that I had when I started working from home. The company that I got the first job with, they wanted a faster processor. They wanted my computer to go faster, and they wanted a more higher resolution video card. And so I just bought the parts off the internet and had them sent to my house, and then I watched a video on how to do it and just did it myself. Because if I'd have took my computer in to get that done, it would have cost me probably more than the computer was worth. So I just watched videos on how to do it and just did it myself. It wasn't hard. The processor part, that's the one that took the longest, because I had to put some, you had to get this paste, this conductor paste, and put some of that on the new processor, and then you have to get a little thing to put around your wrist and anchor it to the computer tower, so that you're grounded and that you don't have any static electricity and you're not transmitting static electricity to the motherboard or any of the other components, so that you don't fry anything. So things like that, you just really gotta know your stuff. I did go to community college for computer repair, so I knew, but I had to drop out. I didn't get to finish, but I did remember quite a bit of that, because we did take things apart and replace CD-ROM drives, and I did get to the part where we opened up the towers and swapped out parts, so I had some knowledge when I had to do that. But what I didn't, whatever I couldn't figure out from past experience, I looked at videos. So I can learn just about anything by watching someone else do it. If I can do it while they're doing it, even better. Just like making the hats today, I watched Crystal's video, and I just I'd pause it and work the round, and then then unpause it and pick it back up like anyone else would do. And the second hat went a lot quicker, even though I had to redo some rows because my counts was off. But it is what it is. I'm gonna try to get back around to this thing, and then we'll call it. Let's see. Yeah, I'm on row 3, and I got one more row after that, and then this square will be done, and on to the next. It's gonna take me a while to get all these 28 squares done, but once I get them done, it won't be nothing to sew them together. I'll probably just use the single crochet like I always do, because I don't mind having the ridge on mine. I know a lot of people, oh, I don't like that ridge. Whatever, it's my blanket. I'll do it how I want to do it. I don't judge nobody for what they do. I don't want, it's not right for folks to try to judge me. I don't let people judge me. Only God can do that. I was in a live a little while ago. She's still live. I can see it on my TV over there. Crystal over at Bag O' Day. She's in the middle of a late night live. And somebody was in there badgering her about whether she believed in God or not. I am a Christian. I'm a woman who believes in God and trusts God and has a lot of faith. And I pray on the daily, many, many times a day, for many, many reasons. Mostly for people that have asked me to pray for them. But I don't go around beating people over the head, verbally beating people over the head with my religion. You know, you shouldn't do that. Don't never force your beliefs on someone else. You can usually tell whether they say it to you or whether they try to avoid you, if someone wants to hear the word of God, or if they, you know, don't want to hear about you talking about it. You can usually tell pretty quickly, engage that person's interest. So you don't ever want to force it down someone's throat, because you risk alienating that person and ruining a friendship. You know, there's ways to gently guide someone into it, you know, into thinking about God, and whether they want to accept Jesus Christ as their personal Savior or not. I've never been one to force anybody to do anything. You know, look, I'll tell you what the facts are and tell you what it's meant in my life to have Jesus, and it either will sink in and you'll go with it, or it just not something you're interested in. You know, it's not for everybody. I wish it was for everybody, but it's not. You know, and what a boring life this would be if we all believed the same thing and we were all little sheep and, you know, cookie cutter people. How boring would that be? But that's what makes our world so wonderful, is because we have so much individuality, you know, in who we are and what we believe and what we think and, you know, how we behave. You know, but the good part about free will is you can surround yourself with like-minded people, and people that don't, you know, believe what you believe, and you can just avoid those people. You don't have to interact with those people. It's not rocket science, you know. You just surround yourself with like-minded people, or people that are at least, you know, agreeable to who you are and what you're about. And if you encounter someone who isn't agreeable to you and that you don't get along with, just avoid them. You know, just stop interacting with them. It's not hard. It may seem difficult at first, but in the long run you'll be happier because you did that. I know, I've done it. I've had to stop associating with people that, you know, the woman that gave me life to be one of them. You know, wasn't easy, but it was the right thing for me. You know, but it may not be the right thing for someone else. But, you know, I've thrived afterwards, you know, mentally doing much better. So I can't complain about that. But just looking up to see what time it was. Y'all just had to let me know in the comments how y'all felt about this whole crochet and chat business. If it was annoying that my mouth moved so weirdly. Did I keep up with interesting chat while I was doing it? Y'all actually get to see how fast or how slow I do things. I don't crochet slow unless it's with that really thin yarn, and then I have to slow down so I don't mess it up. Learned that the hard way. Oh, my stomach's acting ugly. And I took a nausea medicine. Probably had to take a Gas X maybe. Well, here we are, almost done with this row. Well, actually, yeah, almost done with this square. Boy, that went quick. Quicker than I expected anyway. Here we go, in the finish line here. And then man, I need to do this more often. I cut through things pretty quickly, even while making conversation. And occasionally I have to redo a stitch. Now you know I'm human. And a slip stitch over here and over here. And I got all four. Yep. Pull that out there. everything at the fingertips, y'all. My little spot. But there's that one. So I'm in here and see if I can get my stomach to feel better. But I hope y'all know how much I love y'all, and so does Jesus. And please, of course, remember to adopt, don't shop. Your best friend could be waiting for you at the shelter or the rescue, and I'll see y'all again soon. Bye now.